Hey everyone, today we are taking a look at Land of Eternal Sleep in normal mode for World of Kings, and we are going to go ahead and look at the markers. The green square here is where you are going to be tanking. The boss will face the wall and everyone else will stand on the purple number 1. The number 2 and number 3 are for the Mech Team. Now the Mech Team, most of the Mech Team will stand on the number 3, but we have one extra person to help out with the sleep section in the beginning, and they will stand on the number 2. The markers in the very back are where the bombs will be placed, and off to the side there should be an orange triangle where the tanks will take their bomb after 20 stacks. Okay, to go over a little bit with tanking, you're going to tank over here again, like I said, at the green square, and I'm going to want to switch at 20 stacks. At 20 stacks, you get a purple-ish circle around you, and you have to run it away from the raid so you don't kill the raid. Also, we have 3 tanks here. Typically, you only need 2 for this. We have 3 just because we had a 3rd tank, and we kind of use that as a backup just in case one of the tanks dies. But you really only need 2 tanks for this. So I'll go ahead and start here. The first mechanic that's going to happen is the Mech Team that's on that number 3 is going to be put to sleep. Now you can kind of see here that they're sleeping. Now what's going to happen is these purple lines, you want to move them away from the group. You'll get a red text over your head, and that way you know you have one of the purple lines. One of the lines needs to go over the Mech Team. In this case we didn't have one and they were still asleep. But this is a really good because at 20 stacks I can see they're sleeping, kind of shield, and I wanted you to be able to see what it looked like. Up next are the ads that the Mech Team gets, but I just wanted to show here that at 20 stacks I'm going to get text over my head and a purple circle around me, at which point I'm going to run to this orange marker. That way the rest of the team doesn't get the bomb. Now next we had a void storm, and you can see that kind of shield right there. That is the Mech Team sleeping. The void storm actually got rid of the shield, so we were able to continue on with this run. Up above is a different time when I got a tether from one of these ads, and you can see here it's a line connected to you. If you do get this running around, you need to move back, wait for it to be your turn, and then move away from the wraith so that it will die one at a time. So again, you can kind of see in here I'm going to move back to destroy it, and then after that I have red text over my head. That means I have a bomb, and you want to move out to those far markers, and you could see in the bottom where it kind of went off, but the top it'll be easier to see. You just want to move far away from everybody else and move all the way to the back. Do not overlap too close those bombs together if you have the bombs, because it will kill you if you do overlap them. Okay, after this, the mechanics repeat again. If you're lucky, the boss will have moved to the center by now, but we happen to be just a tiny bit slower on this run, so we got another round of purple lines. Now, once we spread out with the purple lines, the boss did go to the center, so we moved on to phase 2. Now for phase 2, you have a team and the tank here, which was me, go into this portal, and you want to kill the mobs, and in the order that they are killed you have to remember the colors behind them. So for example, here the first one we killed is purple, and they don't appear until one is dead, so there's only one at a time. So we have purple and then blue. It's important to remember the order of the colors. It's really good to have somebody on Discord calling out what the color order is. So purple, blue, red, and the last one will be green. So we have to kill the portals outside of this portal in that color order. So somebody typed it into chat, which is really good as well, because it's kind of hard to manage everything. So I went back through the portal, and now if you can see here, we are interrupting mobs. The people that are outside have to kill these ads and interrupt them. If you don't interrupt, it will wipe your raid. So it's very important to interrupt the ads out here. Then you kill the portals in the color order. You just saw the blue portal go down, And we're on the red one here. And if you don't kill them in order or you kill one by accident, you will wipe the raid as well. And here's our last one, the green one. And again, just kill these ads as you go along. That I think is probably the most difficult part of the raid, is just maneuvering all of that. But the mechanics in this part might be a little challenging too. Okay, so move the boss back over to the square here. And some of the mechanics repeat for normal. So we're going to watch we did get seeds here. The most important change is in the background. You can see the ball going around. And what happens is it gets like a tether to one of the players, the player that is closest to the purple circle when it spawns on the ground. And that one will get the ball, and they just run it around in the back because the mech team is in the back too with the wraiths. I'm not sure if you can see them. You can kind of see one there. So you usually call out the order that the wraiths die in. So the ball is continually kited in the back until it gets small enough. And once it gets small enough, you can run into it. Now be super careful with Void Storm that you don't run into the balls, but you can see here the ball really well. And once it's not quite small enough yet, but it will get small enough soon, and then the person kiting it can just run into it and another ball will spawn. You'll get this bead of darkness, see message right there. And somewhere over here you can see the ball just spawning. So just watch that ball. And usually right around when the ball spawns, you've got the Void Storm. There are seeds that you have to move out for. And also just watch the wraiths, because the wraiths will all spawn in the back, which is probably what those little like purplish things are in the back. You can sort of see the wraiths just move back one at a time. The mech team is probably not going to be doing much DPS because really they're all just doing mechs for this part. Alright, we again just continue to switch stacks. Oh, you can see the wraiths here. And the purple circle, that's really good too. So the purple circle there is going to be the ball. Watch out, nearest person has to run away from the ball and have it chase you. If you run into the ball, it will wipe the entire raid. So just be super careful. And usually with that, you want the person who's got the ball to move away from their wraith first, and then after that, if you have an order to the wraiths, then you can go ahead and do that. Here's the seed that I was talking about, these purplish, dark purple seed. Just move away from the raid if you have a seed on you. And that's pretty much it for this phase. You can get multiple orbs moving around in the back. Just be really careful of them. And you just pretty much get the seeds and the wraiths. Just so you're aware, Adventure will add additional mechanics on this third phase. Now I just want to point out the ball moving around in the background. You can see it behind the boss, and as it moves behind the boss, somebody must have run into it because it disappears and most of our raid dies. So just so you can see what to watch for and be careful of, that ball really does do a huge amount of damage to the raid if you are not careful and somebody runs into it. I hope you found this helpful. You're watching VGO40 and this is VGO Girl. See you next time.